It's us again. Hey,
Hey everyone. Uh,
happy Tuesday.
I'm gonna jump right in here. Chris, what if we lit the entire body instead of a point light? Look at this. I could even add a little shimmer to it.
Well, it works with the Tron guy because
I know, right? It really does.
greetings programs.
Yeah, so this week has been a lot of playing with camera and lighting. Right now, I just want to add a little light to the character, but not too much, which is leading me to some discovery of like what is too much when it comes to lighting a character. Like,
So I see what you're doing here. Yeah, I mean, like what you can do is you just put a point light around them and then make the softness and diffuse.
yeah,
Right. So it's like the idea is to get it so they're never in darkness. Right.
right.
And
Yeah, if I flip to the,
right.
let's see if I can do this thing. No, of course I can't. If I flip to the other side of this, kind of what I'm playing with. Um, it's not showing for everyone, I don't think, but
It's
could
not
be
dark, right.
shimmy.
Oh, here we go.
Um,
Right.
just playing with this light source at 1 lumen. I mean, this is not a bright and glorious light.
Yeah.
Where I was just lighting the feet is somewhere like here, and we bring the radius down to 1.
Right.
And the attenuation radius down to 1, and the source length like 3. And that gets you a nice like foot light. Yeah, just kind of playing with lighting and when is it appropriate for the character to be in darkness? When isn't it? Um, what kind of feeling do you want to give from that? And also, just I'm gonna flip screens again, so be prepared to show this because this stupid thing doesn't. And playing with a side-scrolling camera. Let me bring up the light a little bit on this guy. And playing with a side-scrolling camera, what does that look like? Is this something that we actually want to do? I'm immediately thinking yes, just for things like this. Running in things in the foreground is a cool look.
I I I like it more than I thought. Come on, walk on my bridge. Come on. There you go.
Yeah, you bridge.
Yay. We're walking on a bridge.
I have
Okay.
to be careful because there's one spot that isn't.
Right.
I don't know.
No,
Yeah,
these aren't set. Those aren't set for physics objects yet or destructible or anything, but
yeah.
they will be. But
Um,
yeah, I mean, I'm a sucker for stuff going in front of the camera. You still have buildings in your version of the level. Those should not be there anymore.
I mean, we can kick them out.
I did take them out like twice now. But there's something here. I mean, is there? I guess the only side scroller ARPG I can think of is well, that's interesting. Um,
What is?
well, a lot of them are just 2D, right? So, but I was thinking like Castle Crashers. I guess technically is.
I,
I mean, you
I
gain
mean,
levels.
RPG wise, my first thought is Maple Story, but
Right.
I don't know if they
I'm
would
actually
feel.
digging this way more than I thought I would.
I mean, we're
Um,
just gonna get such great cinematic style fights.
yeah,
I I really feel like it could be cool
right,
and different. Not like you said, no one's doing this.
right. Well, and I like that. Like again, if you move away from the camera, like that works pretty good. And then
I
if you
need
come
to.
back, I mean, we have to find a barrier for the.
There's
We'll
the
put a
camera
barrier.
right now is locked to the left shoulder.
Right. But what we would need to do is put in a barrier so that when it hits the barrier, the camera stops moving, but the player still
Yeah,
does.
you gotta clamp it.
But
Yeah, I haven't done
yeah,
any of that. I haven't done even exploration on any of that. This has just been kind of the last 2 days where I was like, I wanted different play styles and different controller schemes, and I was like, okay, what about a side scroller? What if somebody sets their camera?
and and I will say this, right? So like from the level design side, what's great about this is, especially now that we've ah, I know you want to show off the water. The
So
water's
pretty.
yeah, the water is cool. I haven't even done anything with that yet. But um level designing like this, yeah, see, you're not supposed to be there, Matt.
Ah, fine.
Level is not player proof.
No.
But like I can do twice as much fidelity than other camera angles, right? Because there's so much that we can cull here.
Oh
That,
yeah.
and half the world doesn't have to be built, as you mentioned yesterday, right? And that as for the for our team size and all that, that's frankly very appealing.
Yeah,
You
I
know, and if we
look,
just
I don't
make this
know how
feel
it's
like a beat 'em up, but it's an ARPG, and but we still do character progression, and we still do freaking cool moves, and and you know, bosses in this with this camera angle are tried and true.
yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. I
I'm,
have no
I'm
idea
like
if this is gonna work. But as you said, it's really appealing
the
to.
only thing we're adding here that's not in a classic side scroller is we do have. There's no pain on those two.
Not yet.
There's usually you can't go forward and back into the camera screen, and I think this is cool.
I
This is
think there's some value to do it. Like you said, we need to clamp the camera where it can go.
right, and clamp like
But
the player can go too.
because
But
I would actually love the character to literally walk up to the camera.
oh yeah,
I think we could do some interesting emote things. I think we could do like being able to throw an enemy into the camera. Oh, that was weird. Something
yeah, just
fired
do a
away.
little.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, so I want to at least try it. I want to explore it with one or two levels and just see if it functionally works. As we've said from the beginning,
Yeah,
I'm a huge retro fan. I love side scrollers. I love platformers. I love beat 'em ups. Um, if we could wrap that into an ARPG model, that's interesting to me.
it's the same. It's the same as any other camera angle. The game doesn't change. You know, combat changes a little bit. We have to make it a little bit more, showy.
Yeah, combat has to look good, and that's the one thing that I think that we can pull off
Yeah,
is that our combat has to be cinematic. If it's going to be front and center, your Diablos and your Path of Exiles, they get away with a lot of janky
yeah,
movement
okay. Yeah. Nothing.
because
Nothing.
the camera's so far.
Yeah, nothing actually connects.
Uh-uh. Where we almost have to be like a simulation boxing game. Things have to connect.
Yeah, or at least connect with the particle effect that is attached to that swing,
Right.
whatever. You know, um, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. It plays and looks better than I expected. So
Yeah.
and again, like I said, with the team size and fidelity, if I only have to worry about one side of the diorama instead of a 3D world, I can do a hell of a lot more.
Oh, absolutely.
Building a city as possible, but it's possible. But like, it takes a long time to get all the nooks and crannies of that looking good. You know, you can get the city set up in 2 days, and then
Yeah.
it takes 6 months to make it look good, and feel good is even longer.
That is the thing. One thing that people who aren't in this industry don't necessarily understand about game design, and it's that it takes only about 2, maybe 3 days to build a scene.
Yeah.
But you are polishing and adding different layers and masks, and you're doing that for 6-8 months. Like you don't get to put it down after 3 days.
Right. Um, right. And so, like, if you, and I'm going to open it on mine just to kind of show this off, but
Yeah.
um, if you actually see how messy the scene is, right? Because like in my head, I'm like, I just need to see this walk happen to get to the bridge, yada yada yada, right? Like that middle part is all I care about.
Right.
And well, as I'll show you in a couple of minutes, it's like anything outside of that, and I know that the camera angle won't see, is janky as fuck.
Yeah.
And will probably stay that way. But you see all these little things when you're in there all the time of like, oh, like the landscape is poking through the sidewalk by, 2 polygons or whatever. It looks messy. You gotta get in there and you gotta smooth it out and clean that up. And, these 2 things don't align. They're creating a Z-axis fight. You gotta fix that, right? And or like what we saw earlier today was like, oh, I accidentally put physics on the bridge, so every time you loaded the level, it fucking exploded, which was awesome. So in the way of bugs, it's 2 seconds. The best bugs are the ones that look great and take 2 seconds to fix, right?
Yeah.
But it's like those are the kind of things that it's like there's just so much that you have to continually chip away at.
Yeah.
And then ideas come up like what we're looking at. We talked about doing the camera thing a couple of weeks ago. We got that sidetracked last week, but we came back to it, and it makes you reevaluate. Like, does this work for our world? We're doing retro games. This might work better, right?
Yeah, it might.
Or maybe it's like we do a variable camera depending on what world you're in, which adds more work to all of us and a lot more planning, right? But again, we're still in the infancy here, so
yeah,
like I keep coming back to, dude, it looks way better than I thought it was going to look, and like way better.
100%.
And has anybody done this? Does it matter? Do we want to do this?
I think I do.
Yes. I mean, popcorn. Yeah, and it's I guess that really, like, we're the only 2 that really, I don't want to say matter, but
like,
it's our decision, right? But we'd love to hear what you guys think. You've seen the top-down view, and now you've seen the side scroll view. Tell us what you think. I think like when it comes to retro, I think we can get, and especially if we stick with the voxel art, this will fly on the sides. We're closer to the character. It's going to look better, But again, Matt and I have definitely been having a lot of talks of like, do we stick with the voxel thing? You're with the majority. Are we the majority, Reaper? You like the camera angle? Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah, I've never been called the majority before, so.
Yeah, I'm usually not that. It's funny. I saw, when it comes to side scrollers, Adam's upstairs right now just unpacking the new Donkey Kong. Um,
My buddies keep sending me clips about the voxel destruction, and I'm like, uh, yes. Is it cool? Yes. Is it also Nintendo who can purpose build for their machine that's specifically underpowered?
oh, there,
Yes.
yeah,
They
yeah.
get to do that stuff. You will never see a third party come close to it because that's how Nintendo works.
They, so here, look, soapbox time. Um, I'm not the biggest Nintendo player, but I am a big appreciator, right? And what I always have kind of loved about them is that they're like this link is about crafting, and they just take it to the nines. Like, how far can we take a crafting system, right? And they hone it to a fine edge. But then they go to the next game and they're like, okay, we're going to take all of that, but then we're going to add in new feature X.
Right.
Right. And so, like, there's a lot of old Mario in this Donkey Kong game. There's a lot of Zelda in this Donkey Kong game, and I kind of love that they're smart enough to, like, look, game designers. We all have egos. There's no doubting on that. And sometimes we get stuck in, like, I want to reinvent the wheel. I want to make a better control system. I want to make a blah 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 blah. Instead of just going, no, let's just continually find what we've already been working on, right? So then you got like, I'm sure if I go upstairs right now, that game feels intuitively perfect. Like, I'm not going to have to look at a control scheme because I've played other Nintendo games.
Right.
I can just sit down and play, right? And there's something to be said for that.
They absolutely know where they came from, and they look at every system as an opportunity for a nostalgia hit. Absolutely.
And then they add, one more, right? So,
yeah.
like, this one is, from watching, I haven't played it yet, right? That'll be tonight. But, like, looking at the videos, it's like, it's Donkey Kong. What should Donkey Kong do? Donkey Kong should smash, right? So the whole thing is smashing. That's the new, on top of, like, cool climbing mechanics,
Right.
all the things from the other games. But now he can smash through stuff. And wait until you see what they did with the map, because the map updates in real time to the crap that you've done to the level, which, like heart goes out, man. Like, that's so hard and so smart to pull off. Anyway,
and they will be the only ones able to do it, which is
right,
the fundamental problem with how Nintendo operates. They have all these internal tools that they just don't share with third parties, so that their games always play best for their systems. Even you go back through, like, the Wii U and some of the crap they kicked out for that. Their games, no matter how bad they were still the best on the platform. And I'm just like, you built this thing to stroke your own ego.
Right.
I just don't like it. I don't like how they operate. But I do respect
every Nintendo console somewhere in this house, except for the 64. Maybe we don't have. Definitely all the modern ones. We got the Wii.
One I have left. The only one I have left is the Switch and the N64.
We got the Wii, and the Wii's cracked. It's homebrewed.
Unless you count the processor, I have the processor chip from NES in my hardware stuff.
I think we bought one of those, like, multi boxes somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't do the historical game thing as much as I used to, but
I'll do them. I'm going back in my library. I played Killer Instinct last night for the first time in easily 15 years. I had so much fun. I that was the that game needed to come out 4 years earlier, and it would have been the better beat 'em up.
It would have
But
been the better Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat got in early and got in people's heads early. But Killer Instinct was a better fighter. It it operated better, smoother. Even versus Killer Instinct 1 versus I think Mortal Kombat 2 was what was out when that came out.
Well, they did a bunch of things that others weren't doing yet.
Yeah.
But I don't know. My favorite was back from that era was Primal Rage. Any game where I can like stand on my hands and fart in people's faces that's top shelf entertainment to me.
Rival Rage was awesome. But yeah, I mean, I constantly look backward at games. The newer ones just don't attract me as much, only because I don't have the time. I don't with the way my life is structured right now.
Isn't
I
that
don't have 6 hours to play a game.
isn't that interesting though that we went from like the arcade era, which was like at most a half an hour experience to beat a
Yeah.
game, maybe 45 minutes. But most of the time it was about getting you off the damn box in under 5, right? Like
Hmm.
that was the mentality of game design.
Yep.
And we've crossed over into like the other side of that coin. Games are getting a little shorter right now, but we've hit the place of like I don't know, like what have I put into Assassin's Creed this spring? Let's see. I bet you I've put in 80 hours. Right? Let's see. But it's like yeah. 82 hours. And I haven't beaten it. Right? But that's my ADD kicks in and I'm like, I'm gonna drive my cool horse over here and unlock this part of the map. And oh look,
Yeah.
there's this shiny object, right? But then it's refreshing when you get like the new Doom game, which was like, it's 12 hours. It was a solid ass 12 hours, man. But I had no feeling to like play it again. Like I
Right.
could get into the, like completionist mode. But yeah, I mean like, the difference is that like, old arcade games was like way shorter. Way
Yeah.
shorter. Now
I,
we're stuck in this like if you don't have 8 hours of a game, you're shit.
yeah. It's an odd mindset. I mean, most arcade games, and even through the rental era of the NES and SNES and Sega, you're talking about 7 levels.
Yep.
Most of the time, 7, sometimes 10, and levels being no more than 8 minutes, 10 minutes, because they had the timer on them. So if you didn't complete it in a certain amount of time, you just died.
So you have a timer. You
Yeah,
can't forget that was a thing.
yeah. So you're talking about a game at most taking an hour,
Right.
where I've had League of Legends games go an hour and a half, and that's one game.
Oh God, dude. I'm playing XCOM 2 right now, single player.
Yeah,
And I've had missions last 40 minutes, which is fine. It's good. But
I just can't do 40 minutes contiguous right now.
yeah. This is not a game I played when I had the young kids, right?
Yeah,
I played a lot. I played a lot of arena shooters when I had babies, right?
5 minutes, man.
5 minutes, 10 minutes tops. If you had to drop out, it wasn't the end of the world, right? Like that's the other thing is that modern shooters, like, are so locked into 5v5 and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
So it's like you can't just have a messy pug, right? You can't
right.
just have a messy pickup group. I'm saying pickup group is pug, just for I know some of our audience doesn't get the lingo, so I'm just helping out. Um, but yeah, back in the day, because it was like, oh, the baby needs a bottle or whatever.
Yep.
And but yeah, no, I'm old and don't have much going on. So 40-minute missions is fine by me right now.
Yeah.
Again, you know, I don't think all games have to be that way. And the weird thing is then on top of that is like then you go to mobile where they put in all these features to get you to stop playing.
Yep.
Like what? I still don't get that. Like, oh, you've run out of energy.
Stop playing, but come back.
I'm having a really long poop. Like, I need more energy. And then they sell it to you, which is just kind of right. But
that's the trick, right? You've run out of energy. I've hooked you.
Yep.
You're now in the starting addiction phase.
Yep.
Give me $5.
And then I shut it off and I go play Balacha.
Well, that game sort of has fizzled out, hasn't it? It's not really.
They made the money though, man. Like because they charged, right? They charged up front, and it's still in the top 10.
I'm not hearing as much noise about it as I was.
Well, it's not the shiny object anymore.
It's also not conference season.
No, but it is Comic-Con season, so maybe we'll see something.
Don't I know it?
Maybe San Diego will.
As we're talking, I'm freaking moving colliders around on the character. Because as we were talking about, man, it's like, if we're going to do this camera angle combat, like, I can't have a hitbox that sits half a foot in front of the character like I would if we were top down or if we were over the shoulder.
Oh, no, you have to adjust for
now it's got to be almost a collider directly on the mesh.
Almost. And if we're using, well, I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I think you can still get away with the pill for the most part, and then something like on the fists or weapons.
Yeah, so the way I have it set up right now is that I have the standard capsule, collision capsule,
right.
And then inside of that on the mesh, I have a box glider called the engagement zone, which is basically from the body. So the capsule will tell me, hey, something entered my area.
Right.
And then the engagement zone will say, hey, I actually hit. I struck.
Okay.
So I get kind of two-stage animation because I'm thinking about if somebody enters the capsule but doesn't hit the full engagement, or if I'm fast enough, I can press a button and dodge or parry or,
right.
And bring my arms up, I can do something, right? It needs to feel a little more personal if we're going this tight.
Yep.
So that's just kind of what I'm playing with. Trick there is that I don't want to have too many colliders. But I think if I stick to the 2 and then maybe stick, like, maybe I don't even need to put them on the fists or the feet because the other body will take care of that.
We're only worried about seeing blah. Like there's a whole bunch of ways to cull anything that's not in our vision, right? And if we're we say like we're only going to have up to 15 enemies on the screen, so that's 15 that's 30 colliders, 32 with the player, and then if we do like what we were talked about before about like if we do weapons that everything is not hit scan, everything has actual physical, we're still way within the bounds of modern dev, way within the bounds.
Oh yeah, I'm not too worried about that. I'm worried more about losing control, or having to manage 35 different colliders, and that to me seems like it could be a lot. I'm not necessarily worried about performance. Performance for us is going to be really good, especially in voxel where there isn't a lot.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not
Right.
looking for
But
all
we
the.
can also do things to make sure, right? Like there's like a great rule of like of action fighting in movies, which is like, only up to two can be involved at a time. And so
Right.
if we give that rules to our AI to be like, only one or two of you can engage at a time. You can't just jump the player, like, which is what you would do in real life. But it makes for a bad game experience. We could do those things. So it cuts down on like having to worry about, like action collision, on a large level.
Right. Yeah, no, there's definitely going to be rules of engagement there for that.
Mm.
Um, they might be a little less orchestrated because I do want that chaotic fight feeling.
Hmm.
I do want it to be a little bit of a scramble. Um, but but
Well, and
we'll
then
get
it's
there
then
pretty
we
soon.
then we start like, if we're gonna do minions, the classic version of a minion, which is a one hit wonder, like then we can start whittling down what they need, right? So like we can find our savings in other ways, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
definitely.
yeah, and I'm all for like beating the shit out of minions as long as there's the occasional something a little harder coming up. But I
Right.
admit that I love wiping the floor with a bunch of like minions and peons and so anything else going on?
Not really, man. I was actually looking for something that I wanted to share with people because I thought it was just cool. When I say there's a hit marker on LinkedIn, did a cool little demo of some kung fu movements, and I was like, I wanted to share this because this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about fluid movement and chaotic combat. It's just a lot of open body movements, but I can't find it. So, no, man, nothing really. Like, we're just kind of prepping for. I'm getting the server together for multiplayer. I'm getting characters to behave, attack properly. I'm looking for next up. I'm putting some hit markers and some health bars in, or at least health tracking, so that way we can start killing some of these AI. This map specifically needs some spawners. Um, so yeah, just kind of. I'll be as soon as you call this map ready. I'll be kind of taking a pass at where we should spawn, that sort of thing.
Mm, another couple of days. It's a little
Yeah,
short now.
I mean, I'm not. Yeah, and short is actually okay. Like we
Yeah,
can
I'm
make this
looking
a
at this as
small
I'm,
arena.
I'm looking at this as like beautiful corner, right?
Yeah.
Um, more people have joined in, so why don't you bring it back up and show it off again?
All right. Window, window, entire screen. Share.
Sharing. All right. That's a really good bridge that they gave us.
It's a really good bridge.
That is weird, man. It really does zoom out when you go backwards.
And I know what it is. So it's tied to a certain distance from the left shoulder. So
Uh,
right now the left shoulder is closer to me, so the camera backs out.
I
But
see.
when I'm here, the left shoulder is further and it pushes the exact distance. So I just have to align the camera to not
Right,
be on the arm. Um, but yeah, this kind of this it's a hybrid third person camera, side scrolling camera.
right.
I really like it. I like that I can run through buildings. Yeah, it feels really good. Nothing in the background is painted. It's all actual objects, so we could add interactables to everything if we wanted. Um, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
it's
mind
an
being able to
interesting
pick up
way
a
to
tire and
navigate.
throw
It
at
is
people.
different. Yeah, it's definitely a different way to like, navigate with the world here, right? Because
Yeah,
you know, I'm kind of digging it.
I need better to jump. Well, that's
Yeah, you need
somewhat.
a real jump on this guy. I don't know what his jump is right now, but that's not
I
video. That's not a video game jump at all.
I made it really tiny.
Yeah, no, he needs to be like boring, especially if we're gonna go this way, right?
Yeah,
At least, yeah, you're gonna make me clean all of this up. This is where you can see all the sins,
oh yeah,
all the sins. Look at all that shit under the world. Oh yeah,
yeah. There's tons of stuff under there,
yep.
but that's part of it.
Slappity slap slap.
Yeah,
Yep. But yeah, I had to move this bridge and put it. I had a few things I had to do to differentiate this from the top down
yeah.
version. Yeah, see there, those aren't supposed to be there anymore. All these buildings on this side are supposed to be deleted. But
And then just have an invisible wall on the side, or what?
oh, there's an invisible ball towards the back. Yeah.
Because like I actually love so stuff like this where the little barriers are.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Once we know the camera distance and we know the clamping of the, like we just say that, like coming towards the camera, we're always going to stop at the sidewalk or something,
Right.
or the equivalent of the sidewalk. Then I can build appropriately for that kind of awesomeness, right? Like, you know, like you can still see your character, but you get this good parallax going. The background's giving her this really good motion effect, also, right?
Oh, so,
And then like these fires that, right? Yeah, I mean we could do a whole level in hell. The
yeah,
distortion effect on this is pretty sweet.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, beating the shit out of your computer.
Oh yes, yeah. Yeah, I could.
That's
It's getting
interesting.
hot.
Right? This runs like butter on my machine. Um, so that's good to know, actually. I had a feeling that fire was a little not performant.
Yeah, it needs to be calmed down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, all right. Well, another day closer to being able to punch each other in the face.
Another day closer.
Yep. Yeah, right. So now you can pull the camera out and see all the bullshit. Yeah, see, all that's supposed to be gone, dude. I don't know why it keeps coming back into the level. Leave that. Leave that. Get rid of those last buildings down the end. Anything close to the street you keep, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go back. I'll show you exactly what the jump shot should be. Go back to the burning car.
Yeah.
The height of that roof should be the jump should be a little over that, so you should be able to jump onto that.
Okay,
That should be that should be our
that's an easy marker to hit.
yeah.
I
Either
forget what I
that or
said to jump
either
to,
that
but
or
it
the
was pitiful.
right. It's either that or the 18-wheeler roof, which is
That's really
that's
high.
that's a good jump. Yeah,
That's a Mario jump.
That's video game though. So
Boy,
there's nav mesh up there.
I saw that actually. I saw where you put
Our
that.
guys
Yeah,
it might not be there anymore. Oh no,
it
it's
is.
still so bad guys should be able to follow you up there.
Yeah, and be spawned up there, which is really what I want. I want things like that where people will come from areas where you don't expect.
Yeah.
Like I'd love to have a spawner back here.
Yeah, well, let's just keep playing with this and figure out what the depths work.
Yeah.
And that would be my to do here. It's always funny, like again, breaking out of the camera. It's like, and now you can see how fucking ugly it really is.
Yeah.
It's literally just like making film. Off camera, you can see the Bailey fire.
Oh, that's a kind of cool area.
Yeah, maybe I can do something with the water to make it a little bit more in your face. Also, kind of gets lost completely in this view.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the bridge, but maybe I just bring the water up higher.
Yeah, I'd bring the water up, make it less,
I can make it bluer
make it flow
or
more.
greener. Make it sewery.
Could do that. You want to add like swimming animations? Is that something you want to do?
Not yet. Not yet. No, not yet. Of course, I'm sitting here going, no, but we could do a cool jumping puzzle across the water when you're going buoyant object to buoyant object. Could. Then there's the tubing level.
Yeah. Ooh.
That the performance.
No, this is the wireframe.
Those particle effects. Yep.
Yeah.
Jump, jump, jump. Yeah, the wireframes on these buildings are just stupid. but,
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's fine for what we're doing.
It'll be fine for now, yeah.
They're
I haven't
just-
really looked at the performance graphs yet because I'm just not.
I don't think we should care for this level. I mean, as long as we're not getting warnings when we build,
Yeah.
we should be just fine.
Yeah.
All right. We have any questions from the community?
We do. I was pulling that up where you distracted me.
Sorry.
You're good. Oh, questions. First one. Have any decisions been made about changing the art style? Are we voxel or are we not? I would say no decision has been made.
Right.
I don't know that we'll be either we will change. Yeah, I don't know. some days I really think that this is not going to be worth it to do voxel with all of the extra artwork and things that will be needed. But then every once in a while, I look back at our trailer and say, "Holy shit, yeah,
Right,
that looks really good."
right. I
So
would
I,
say as of right now, we're still voxel, but yes,
yes,
we are definitely being tempted by the shiny objects a little bit.
a little bit.
You know.
I just, yeah. So yes. Um, and from Tofu, he was asking this morning about if NFTs could be games themselves. Um, Not something as complex as this game. NFTs, or at least on Ethereum, NFTs have a limit of 18 kilobytes. For to give a reference of what that is, Pong on the Atari 2600 is 16 kilobytes. So you could do something up to that, but not much more.
So Pong, Snake,
Yep. I'm sure you could
maybe a
do
small text.
solitaire text adventures, like we could do a Zort game.
Yeah, I got zero interest in that.
I've I played them. I don't know that I want to build one.
All right. Now I even went back and tried to play like they redid Wizardry, modern graphics, and all that. And I played it for about 20 minutes, and I was like, "There's so much about that old gameplay that just doesn't hold anymore."
Well,
Look
and
better,
that's I guess one of my problems with remasters, right? Eh, Keeping old control schemes and game design decisions
right?
isn't isn't valuable anymore. I mean, I perfect example. Um, I have an emulated version of Perfect Dark for the N64, but the version I have rewrote all the control schemes to be working for a PS2 controller,
Mm.
and I love it. And it makes the game 10 times better. Because if I had to remap that thing to an N64 three-handed controller, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So I just, yeah,
It is the weirdest controller of all time.
it worked for what it needed to do.
Yeah.
There was a reason for it. Was it a good choice? No, but there was a reason. It's that hybrid. They had games that needed a D-pad and some games that had joystick, and the two should never meet. So you can just move your hand to one to the other if you which one you're doing. Made complete sense.
It made sense. Sure.
I probably would have just said no if you're building things for this console. You're using a joystick.
Right.
Sorry, but let's see what else we got. Uh, with the water, will there be jet skis?
Not in the first game.
Yeah, we have not gotten to vehicles yet, or what
Uh,
vehicles will be available.
if people are wondering, like, this is what he's reacting to. It's last week we showed the water simulation, and like the water simulation I had going last week was like with crazy waves and all that. So, uh, but yeah, that wave structure would be great for jet skiing.
Sure.
But no, it's just
I don't,
you
I
know,
don't think I'm. Wave Runner wasn't my favorite game.
yeah. If we do anything with that, especially if we start playing around with the side scrolling camera, it will be um it will be underwater stuff, or it will be like jump object to object, to get across a thing, right?
Now, if anyone wants to get a hold of the people who own the rights to Waterworld, and we could do a payday style game from the perspective of the bad guys, I'm in.
You want to be the guys that lived on the oil tanker and
Uh-huh.
stole everybody else's water.
And loot and shoot and yeah.
Well, that comes back to like I would do another like Mad Max game in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Good world,
Yep.
brutal, and you know the Mad Max WB game actually came close, but it still needed a little extra something when it came to car combat. But it was pretty damn good. Yeah. Another one of those games that was like, yeah, you got a shotgun, but you can't do much with it, right?
Yeah.
Because like you only have 3 bullets, right? So you just gotta like you gotta just beat everybody up.
Ammo scarcity is one of those things I would love to play with in a
Oh, I think
game.
we have to if we're gonna do a side scroller because I want to put some sort of ranged weapons in here, but
Yeah.
you'll just be completely unfair if you are like
But you mean you don't want to make the new Contra?
yeah, well, bro, that's a whole different thing, right? Like, I mean, that's a whole different thing. No, I would rather not. So, Matt, if you're gonna go off and look at combat models, here's the two that I adore. Mad Max. Really, it's really actually quite simple, um, but it looks good. It feels reckless, which just fit perfectly. You know, he's not doing this. He's like throwing haymakers,
Yeah.
right? Um, and I think I mentioned this before, but Sleeping Dogs is my favorite.
That's a good one.
Because it's like the arm breaks and the right a little bit everything in there, a little bit of ground and pound, a little bit of cool kung fu stuff. Um, and the other thing is that as we're looking at this, is if that's the direction we kind of want to go, is like nothing says that we have to stick to reality, right?
Right.
Sliding shadow kicks and freaking fireballs and whatever. It's all good.
Get the bicycle kick a la Liu Kang.
Yeah, da, 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 which has never looked good in a movie.
It never looked good anywhere.
Yeah,
In the games, it always looked terrible because
that's
he would just teleport to the top and
I admitted I was, and this is how it usually goes with me in competitive games. I was a Johnny Cage because I always pick the characters that's gonna annoy the shit out of other people.
yeah, that makes
Right?
sense.
Psychological warfare, right? And nobody liked Johnny Cage.
Very unlikable character in the lore.
Yeah, and Baraka and that spam the lightning, baby.
That's awful. Counterable, but awful.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up, man.
Yeah.
Another good
Thanks
week.
for hanging out, guys. It was a good talk.
We'll post a couple of videos later of what we're building here. And yeah, have a great week, man.
All right, guys.
All right, hitting the button.